Are there new rides in our future? What about new lands? We've just heard some amazing Walt Disney World announcements from D23, and we've got them all here for you. So, let's go! Hey friends, Tina Lala, and I'm here with Megan to give you an update from this weekend's D23 Expo that was held at Anaheim, California. D23 is the official Disney fan club founded by Disney in 2009 that has annual expos where they announce the most amazing upcoming projects. They induct legends and give fans the ultimate insight into changes for the parks. Each year they kind of change it between Orlando and Anaheim, California. And this year it was in Disneyland at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. There's a lot of videos that we cannot show you. There's lots of things that we can show you. What we're going to do is actually give you our take on some of the announcements that were out there, and I will insert different clips and links and things like that that we can share with you, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Let's talk about some of the park announcements. Now, there were announcements about all of the parks, but we're going to specifically talk about Walt Disney World on this video because that's the one that we're closest to and we have the most insight on.
So first we're going to talk about the test track refurbishment in Epcot that's happening from now in opening supposedly 2025, but I think it's going to open 27. So 2027 I think is when it's going to open, because it says it's going to take about 3 years to be refurbished. They're supposedly taking the idea of what it used to look like with World of Motion and put it together with the test track, what they had in 2012, and put it together. That's what they're supposed to be. That's the idea. That's what they've blue skied. That's what the concept art looked like. But who's to say? It could change between now and then. They've got 3 years to put it all together. Talking also about new things happening with Epcot. They also have a new lounge coming to Spaceship Earth. It's going to be rich textures and warm metallic tones for a mysterious, elegant, and yet intimate vibe, which is kind of fun because it's going to be a replacement of the former lounge that was attached to Spaceship Earth, and that's going to open in 2025. But I mean, I'm kind of excited. That's what Epcot's got going for it. A really exciting announcement happening at Animal Kingdom. The upgrade to the shoulder Banshee in Pandora. So it's going to upgrade technology features that would allow your Banshee to not only recognize each other, but also recognize through new motions and sounds, animations, and feature a bioluminescent glow. The new Banshees, though, will be available at the Wind Trader Rookie, which is at the end of the Pandora ride, the Navi River. It's going to be at the end of that ride. There's that gift shop. That's where you can adopt your Banshee. But they don't have any pricings for it. So I feel like it's going to be the same pricing of the Banshee they have now, just maybe a little bit more expensive, because of the fact there's new stuff added to it, upgrades and things.
Well, I think that'd be great because a lot of people get those Banshees and they don't really do anything on their shoulder. So I think this interaction, especially at night in the Pandora area, I think that would be really cute. What I did hear, though, was that there was no talk of removing the current Banshees, but they're thinking that there might be a slow kind of petering out while the other ones come in.
Okay.
One thing that was finally confirmed, we're all excited about, is that the It's Tough to Be a Bug show will be replaced by a Zootopia show, and that's the show that's actually under the Tree of Life. That show will be called A Better Zoo Together. It's a little difficult for me to even say. A Better Zoo Together is the name of the show. So we'll see what that's like. I know that the It's Tough to Be a Bug show has kind of lost some of its glow. People don't love some of the interaction, and it's a little scary for kids.
I know that there was an article a couple of weeks ago about some lady that was like, I felt like I was attacked or I was assaulted because of there was a part in the show where bees come around and they sting you in the back, and she was like, I feel like I was being assaulted because I got poked in the back, and then bugs ran under my butt at the end of it. And I'm like, well, if it wasn't your first time watching the show, you would know that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not
if you had watched one of our videos and done your due diligence, you would have known what to expect.
Mhm.
So that'll be interesting. It's supposed to replace the It's a Bug's Life show next winter. So the really big announcement for DAC, or Disney Animal Kingdom, was the announcement finally of the Tropical Americas. And so this is a huge land transformation. It's going to be at 11 acres of land, and it's actually going to kind of open in phases. But the biggest thing is the confirmation that the dinosaur ride.
But it's going to be a refurbishment of the dinosaur. It's going to be Indiana Jones themed. It's going to be a new story, though. So, like, Indy finds himself at a Mayan temple, where he has to fight a mythical creature, which I'm hoping is a dinosaur. That'd be kind of funny. I'm just saying. That'd be hilarious. But, of course, it might not. But the good part is they said the dirt's already being moved, so things are happening. Yeah. I mean, if you've seen some of the videos that we have of Dinosaur Land right now, the Carnival Land is almost completely cleared out. Yeah.
The walls are up.
The walls are up. They're there. I mean, they only have a few carnival rides, somewhat here and there. Yeah. The Triceratops spin is the only ride that's left in the carnival, besides Dinosaur. But I mean, trees have been taken down, space has been getting cleared out. So they've got to clear a lot of space out, though, because not only are they adding the Indiana Jones attraction, but they're adding a whole, like, village, and they're adding a whole carousel. They're adding a whole bunch of things. They're adding a whole new land. They're adding this Pueblo Esperanza village, I believe is what they said, where it's going to be food shops. There's going to be a fountain they mentioned in the village. That's going to you could tell a story that villagers are going to tell stories at. They also said there's going to be a horse stable carousel that's going to have a whole bunch of the Disney characters carved out of wood. They're also going to be carved by local wood carvers. We've got a model of one of the carved animals that they had that was a sculpt of Kevin from the movie Up that was displayed at the D23 at the Honda Center. You can see that he's been purposely weathered. It's interesting to see that the other characters, if they recreate them in the wood, like Pumbaa and Simba, like what they're going to do with them. Right. I also think that they should not only add all of the Lion King characters to this carousel, but some of the other woodland creatures that we have, like Fox and the Hound. That should be really there.
Good. Some of the classics.
Like Bambi. You got also Dumbo, even though I know that's not really but he's an elephant. Yeah, no, it's very true. So I mean, if their whole concept is really the tropics, you know what I mean? You've got a lot of tropical America, so you've got the animals of tropical America, but also characters that a lot of these kids are going to know, and to have them on the carousel will kind of give them a connection. Another thing that they're going to have is the Encanto Attraction, which I think is kind of exciting. Yeah. Because they've hinted at it at the last D23. Yes. That they were going to have this big Encanto house. The casita was going to be there, and that you could see it and have all the family Madrigal there, and just have this story. I mean, the story that they're talking about is that you go inside the casita on the day that Antonio receives his gift, and you go inside Antonio's room to a rainforest. Yeah. On the models that at D23 that they showed, there are fake mountains that are behind the casita. Yeah. There's even the Encanto house itself. Yeah. But it will be it's a facade of the attraction. The whole purpose is the fact that you get to see everybody's room on the day that it happened, the day that Antonio got his gift, and at the end, you get to hang out with an Antonio. I think that's kind of cool to know, what actually happened to him that day. Right. Because it was basically all about... Right, and you didn't get to see anything. So it's kind of like he gets his gift, and then this is what happens in his room, and then we get to be a part of that. So I think that's a really great connection to that movie. And then I'm sure
they'll do some meet and greets. Because right now they're doing Maribel over at the Fairy Tale Gardens over at Magic Kingdom. But this will be a great opportunity for them to have Bruno and Maribel and maybe all of the Madrigal family to be able to have a meet and greet. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think what's cool is some of the pictures that I've seen, they show like Casita, like the doors opening or the shutters fluttering and the furniture moving around. So I think that will be really cool too. So you have that feeling like the house is really alive, like in the movie. So I think that is kind of a really great connection for that house. Now, where they're talking about doing it, the pictures that I'll show here, I really think that they're going to have to retheme Restaurantosaurus based on, where it's located. And actually, most of that area will be obviously rethemed. It definitely will be a complete refurbishment of that whole area. But they're saying it's going to happen in phases, and then it will be finally ended in 2027. What I'm really interested in seeing is what's going to happen to Finding Nemo. Because that Finding Nemo building is actually connected to Dino Land on the map. And when you see the circle around, Finding Nemo is just kind of in its own spot. It's in between Everest and Dino Land. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of what they do with that. Because, they're not really tropical America. They're Australia. So it'll be interesting.
They'll just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
People will believe. We do. We believe. Because we love Disney, we believe all of it. So the other thing that was really exciting news was the fact that, as we know that there's been multiple series of Mandalorian and the Mandalorian and Grogu story. We're now on, I think, season 4 of that show, and confirmed that they're actually going to be bringing parts of the Mando and the Grogu story into the Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run story. So I think that will be really great. Not that ride needs a refresh, but I think that will bring new excitement for that ride. A lot of people love the Millennium Falcon and that ride, but I think that bringing that part of the story in, I wonder if it'll be, instead of like the Chewie mode, I wonder if it'll be the Grogu mode. And if we'll have some type of special mode that, we'll be able to push these buttons and do this and we get a Grogu mode or something like that. But
something I'm really excited though about coming to Hollywood Studios is the Monsters Inc. Monstropolis land. Don't get me wrong, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor in Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom, it's okay, it's good for the AC and whatever, but like every other park has their own Monsters Inc. ride. And when people come from like Disneyland and they come over here, they're like, oh, this is a show? This isn't a ride? And we're like, yeah, no, it's a show. I think now that we're getting Monstropolis, like our own ride, is kind of exciting. Yeah. How they've said it is that you get to tour the factory, because who always wanted to tour the factory? Me included. Yeah. But it's from the laugh floor perspective. So you take one of the laugh floor doors, and it's a tilt ride, more like a lift ride. But it's a suspended coaster that takes you through the door storage area of Monsters Inc. You know that the scene where Sully and Mike and Boo are running from Randall and they're going through all the doors? You're basically going along with them on a roller coaster ride through that area. Pictures of the ride concept was shown on D23 and it looks so cool. Yeah. They said construction's supposed to start next year, but this is just rumored to replace the animation.
Yeah, so actually where they've been talking about putting it, there's a lot of different rumors going on. So I think when it was first announced, a lot of people thought it's going to go over where the Muppet Show is, and maybe, take down Mama Restaurant, the Mama Melrose in the back, that whole back area. I've also heard a lot of rumors that it's going to take out Star Tours and the Backlot Tour. But where I'm hearing it's going to actually go is actually over at Star Wars Launch Bay. So that's actually like what Megan was saying. That's actually like the animation building.
Plaza, yeah.
So that area where you have, when you walk under like the little arch thing, on the left-hand side you have Ariel's Mermaid musical adventure, and then you have the Disney Junior Play Dance. that area right there, that's all animation kind of plaza area, the courtyard. And so that area back where the Star Wars launch bay, that will be all knocked down. And that will all replace with Monstropolis. I mean, do you think that there's enough space back there for that type of area? I mean, the artwork just looks like there's just going to be a huge building back there, but...
I mean, I feel like they'll have enough space. I mean, they said they're trying to bring back Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep Disney Junior, aka the Baby Rave. They're trying to keep those things alive. So, I mean, the Star Wars launch bay, I think... It needs, no offense, it needs to get knocked down and just brought to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Because you have Star Tours and kind of like as like a welcome portion to the Galaxy's Edge. But I think if you brought the meet and greet of Chewie and Darth Vader or Kylo Ren over to Galaxy's Edge, there are spots they walk around. They have their little meet and greets. You can take pictures with them while they walk around.
Right.
So why have two spots when you could just have one?
Yeah, I think it will reorganize the whole area so that you have your Star Wars over there, and then you have your kind of your kids stuff over here, like Animation Courtyard used to be.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing that if they just knock down Star Wars launch bay, that it'll be less chaotic Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it'll all be just kind of like contained into one spot, which is kind of like what they have at Disneyland, you know?
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree.
At Magic Kingdom, they have the new nighttime parade. I'm excited for a nighttime parade.
Yes.
Sad that it's not the electrical light parade. I was excited for the fact that they said there was going to be a nighttime parade, but not the electrical parade. But they said that it's supposed to be kind of like it. It's supposed to come summer of next year.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be called, Disney Starlight? Is that what they said it was called?
Yeah, I think
but with new stories provided by the Blue Fairy.
Yeah.
Which is fun because the Blue Fairy's not really anywhere in Magic Kingdom except for Pinocchio's house, which is this, like, small little restaurant, which has good food in it. But, I mean, the Blue Fairy is iconic. So the fact that the Blue Fairies and friends from Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, etc., they're going to be projections down Main Street along with the parade. I'm thinking that the Blue Fairy will be like a rider, like the bride and the Sleeping Beauty fairies. You know what I'm saying? Like so she's on that rolling thing. Yeah. But I think the floats might be kind of the same concept as the electrical parade, where they're all.
Yeah, did
together.
You see? So I'm going to insert here. So here's the picture of the float for Encanto. So it's got like the candle that's all aglow and stuff, and so that's pretty cool. I'm wondering if they're going to repurpose. You remember way back when some of the floats with the princesses had all the mirrors on it? So one of the ones I saw of that kind of looks like that float. But it'll be interesting to see what they actually pull from, because they have tons of existing floats.
They have so many. There's so many floats that I think are just sitting in storage that they should just redo, revamp, bring it back out.
Yeah. Because
now that the Fantasy Parade, like, they don't use the old princess float that they have.
Yes.
So if they bring that back and just repurpose it, I think that would be fun. Because the only time they use that parade float is during Christmas time.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, yes, that takes that float away from Christmas. But in the same notion, you can be able to use it multi-purpose.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see what they do, because if it's at night, so some of the things on the existing floats, so you're projecting down Main Street, which finally they're utilizing. Because really all they ever did was, don't get me wrong, Happily Ever After uses that projection, but to finally find another use for it, so that it's not just for that one show, but to have that night parade with a projection, I think is really going to add to that night parade. Yeah. So another announcement was the one that we actually just posted a video about, and that was the Pirates Lounge, which is happening over, just like we thought it was going to, over at the currently closed Pirates League. And so what they're saying is that it's going to be a cavern where bandits and buccaneers are going to be welcome to be able to have a drink. You're able to raise a toast with pirates, with grogs and grub. One I'm really excited about is to see Peg Leg Pete, who's the pirate parrot known as the Barker Bird. I love him from my childhood, so I'm very excited to be able to see him. But we already did a video on that with our thoughts on where that was going to be, so I'm going to put a link down here so you can see that video, and that is scheduled to open in 2025. One of the things they did say is once that opens, all of the temporary shop, which is across the way at the Tortuga Tavern, which is now Tortuga Treasures, that's going to be brought back to that area. So I'm excited to see that area get some life. You know, that you guys, when you were little, you did that Pirate League thing.
Yeah, and that's just sitting there being a break room right now.
Yeah, there's nothing that's even there. So
on top of the cool things that are also getting added to Magic Kingdom, behind Big Thunder Mountain, there are two big attractions coming. You have two Cars attractions.
Yeah.
You have the Race Rally, which looks a little bit like Radiator Springs Racers, which is a small race car attraction where smaller kids and families, kind of like Speedway from Tomorrowland.
I know.
They kind of took the concept and said, let's make it friendlier. In my opinion, I think they could have just updated Speedway and made it Cars themed, but that's besides the point. That's supposed to start construction in 2025. That's going behind Big Thunder Mountain. Now, the big thing that we're all really excited about is VILLAINSLAND, and it's been confirmed where it's going. So they're actually going to tear down Tom Sawyer's Island and put it there. Fill the moat, which means the Liberty Boat is going away.
Oh.
And Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn are going to go away as well. And villains are going to take over, and that's where it's going.
We've been waiting for villains for so long.
We have, but they're coming with two major attractions, dining, shopping, all of it.
Yep.
A lot of my friends really want Yzma to have her own ride. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Finally pull the lever.
Pull the lever!
And just have a water ride for Yzma. I swear to God. I understand that they were all teasing the fact that, well, Josh was teasing the fact that you should be prepared, you poor unfortunate souls. That might be the two big attractions, you know, Scar and Ursula having their two big things, but come on, Yzma. Yzma needs her time in the sun. Like, let's be honest.
And when you look at the art, there's so much happening.
Yes.
There's multiple castles. I've heard, like, way in the far back on the right-hand side, there's a castle way up high. I'm hearing that might be Chernobog's castle.
But Steven Chernobog doesn't have a castle. He's on the mountain.
He's on the mountain. And this is the thing, like, they're pulling all the villains. All the villains were shown on this video. So we don't know which ones are really going to get highlighted. They're saying that they're going to be, you know, chaos with all the villains. It looks like on the left-hand side and the concept art that there's a roller coaster.
I saw that.
In there, so that'll be interesting. There's also on the left-hand side in the back, Maleficent as a dragon blowing green fire. So what is that?
I wanna just have an understanding. If we can have Maleficent blowing fire at a land, can we update the gosh darn dragon from Fantasmic? We have all this money to put into these lands, and yet we still have the dollar store version of Maleficent. She's awful. Yet she doesn't burst into flames as much as Disneyland does.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we need an updated version.
Yeah.
So I'm okay if this dragon is better than the dollar store pipe cleaner that we have. I do think that Oogie Boogie should have his own merchandise store.
Yeah.
Oogie Boogie should have his own merchandise store. I think Dr. Facilier should have his own restaurant.
Okay.
I think Frollo should have his own, what was it? Froyo?
Oh, like a frozen yogurt type of shop.
Type of thing.
Oh, that's a good twist on it.
Frollo Froyo. He's got his own Dole Whip. I know that doesn't make any sense because he's Hellfire. You know? But
a play on his name.
A play on his name. Something fun like that. I mean, if every villain has got their own, like, spice to it, then, I mean, my friends and I were bouncing off ideas this morning, like, left and right.
Right.
But we all agreed the consensus was Hades should have his own ride. Yzma should have her own ride. and Maleficent should have her own ride.
But there's only going to be 2 rides.
I know. But
That's all that Josh kind of...
I'm just saying, but you have those 3 that could have their own ride.
Okay.
Because Hades, you could literally go down into the underworld, okay?
Yep.
And do like a rapid ride.
See, now that's interesting, because if you look at the concept art, there's areas kind of up front on the left-hand side where it shows waterfalls going down. So down to where? And then there's just art of like of people like walking up over here. So that's an interesting thought. I wonder if like the roller coaster ride goes down under, into hell, really, and it's blue water. If you look at that picture,
it's blue water.
That is blue water going down, like Hades would have his area be that flaming blue. So that's very an interesting idea.
I definitely think that we've all been waiting for a water ride for Yzma. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it because that's just how it's supposed to be. I also think that if any other attraction, it should be like...
Because they already have a Gaston Tavern, which is over in Fantasyland.
Correct, and I don't think they're going to move that. They're going to keep that there. Yep. So he can't have another tavern. No. That's just not how it works.
And he does meet and greets out there.
Correct.
It is curious about Scar. He could have like his little elephant graveyard where he does meet and greets.
It could be a little playground if you want, the elephant graveyard, the playground. Because think about it. It could be like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience type of size. Yeah. You shrink down to his size, to like Simba size.
And you know what? They could even take some of the boneyard that they have now at Animal Kingdom and bring that over there and kind of repurpose that for Scar's little area of a boneyard over there. That would make sense.
That would make total sense.
Well, this is what we thought about all of the new news that we heard from D23 just on Walt Disney World. What do you think about our reviews? Are we close to what you thought too? Let us know down in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe to DTLalaland. Up next, we're going to do part 2 of this video and give you our opinions on the D23 announcements on movies, series, and Disney Plus releases. So, on to the next.